You don't have to be manipulative to win in office politics. You don't need to gossip. You don't need to play the game. But you do need to know how the game works. Because even if you ignore office politics, they don't ignore you. Here's the truth. People get promoted for reasons that aren't always obvious. Decisions get made behind closed doors. And sometimes, your value isn't enough if you don't know how to protect and position it. In this video, we'll walk through 7 quiet, powerful strategies to navigate office politics without losing your soul. You'll learn how to stay calm, clear, and quietly respected, even in rooms built on power plays. Let's begin. 1. Study the power map, not the org chart. The org chart tells you who's in charge, but it doesn't tell you who actually makes decisions. Power is rarely linear. In most workplaces, real influence flows sideways, informally, and often behind the scenes. Your job? Map the power. Watch. Dot. Who do people defer to in meetings, even without titles? Who can block or approve things without fanfare? Who always seems in the loop? These are the gatekeepers, and you don't need to compete with them. You need to understand them. Quietly align, learn their language. Don't challenge them. Yet, just observe. Take notes. Power respects awareness. 2. Become a trusted source, not a loud voice. In political environments, people try to stand out by talking more, posturing, or being everywhere. But silent power comes from reliability, not visibility. Be the person who delivers early, communicates clearly, responds calmly under pressure, doesn't leak information or gossip. Over time, you become what psychologists call a secure node, someone others feel safe trusting, even in unstable environments. You don't need to push your name. You let it be associated with competence. That's how reputation builds. Slowly, quietly, and with weight. 3. Know when to speak and when not to. In office politics, not every meeting is about decisions. Some are about positioning. People speak to be seen, to align, to test others. Your move? Speak when your words add value. And stay silent when they don't. Use silence strategically. Period. When someone's overreacting, stay composed. When gossip starts, disengage quietly. When asked for an opinion, pause before you speak. People will notice. The calmest person in a chaotic room becomes the most powerful because they signal control. 4. Align without being a follower. You don't have to agree with everyone to build political safety. You just need to learn strategic alignment. This means, period. Reading the tone of a room, knowing when to show support, and when to stay neutral. Offering feedback as questions, not corrections. Use phrases like, period. That's an interesting angle. Have we considered? I see your point. What if we also looked at it this way? Here's something that might add value to that. You stay collaborative, but not submissive. You show strength without ego. That balance is rare and respected. 5. Let your work speak, but make sure it's heard. The biggest myth in workplace politics? Let your work speak for itself. No. Let your work be worth speaking about, and then make sure the right people hear about it. This doesn't mean bragging. It means strategic visibility. How? Share progress in short, confident updates. Loop in relevant stakeholders. Offer help before you're asked, especially to decision makers. Frame results as value, not effort. You're not selling yourself. You're positioning yourself as someone who delivers value and doesn't need to shout to prove it. 6. Detach emotionally from office games. Office politics get toxic when you take it personally. But here's the truth. Most of it isn't about you. It's about ego, insecurity, positioning, and self-preservation. The power move? Detach emotionally. Don't react to gossip. Don't internalize criticism from people who aren't qualified to give it. Don't respond emotionally to subtle digs or posturing. Instead, zoom out, period. Ask, what's the real dynamic here? Ask, what's my long game in this space? Ask, does this interaction deserve my reaction? Calm detachment is not apathy, it's strategy. 7. Build quiet leverage. Office politics feel threatening when you feel powerless. The fix? Build leverage, quietly. This includes a period. Skills no one else on your team has. Cross-functional relationships in other departments. Reputation as calm, competent, and dependable. Side projects or credentials that increase your options. When you have leverage, you move differently. You're not desperate. You're not afraid to say no point. You don't play petty games because you don't need to. Leverage makes you dangerous, silently, and it's built in private. You don't need to play dirty to win at office politics, but you do need to play consciously. This isn't about manipulation. It's about self-protection, quiet strategy, emotional control. Because the person who can stay calm in chaos, who speaks less but says more, who moves with purpose but without noise, that's the person people trust. And trust is the real currency in any political environment. Subscribe to Next Me Project for more videos on emotional discipline, quiet confidence, and building silent power, even in the loudest rooms.